up, The Grove? What a fucking movie, right? Yeah. I'm Christopher Plus. I'm your moderator. Fucking stoked to be here. It is my pleasure to introduce the three people solely responsible for the nightmares you're going to have tonight. Director Michael Shanks, stars Alison, Brie, and Dan Franco? Dan cannot make it. Nice to see you.
Bonjour.
Fuck yeah.
You got that fun?
Yeah. Guys, what a movie. I've seen it twice, you know I fucking love it. I haven't been that simultaneously scared and horned up listening to the Spice Girls in 13 years, so thank you for that trauma. Michael, I want to start with you. This is your first feature film ever. Unbelievable. You fucking knocked it out of the park. Absolutely killed it. I'm just curious how you're feeling about the whole journey, because you know you're kind of new to this world. So the last 6 months of going to Sundance, selling the movie, going on a press tour, and now you're seeing your big movie with these fucking great actors. So I'm curious just how the ride has been for you.
It's hard to speak in cliches, but I mean, it's just been sort of like a series of dreams coming true, to be honest. Like, I'm sorry to be sincere mode, but it's been like amazing. Yeah. Like, it's this weird whirlwind, but it's, well, one thing that is kind of interesting about it is that most of it kind of happens when I'm overseas. Like, you know, we made the movie in Melbourne, that's kind of where my family and my friends are, and then I like go to Sundance and all this amazing stuff happens and I meet all these people and people treat me like I'm famous and I go back home and everybody treats me like shit. And
it's like, actually really good and grounding.
Yeah.
Like you can't get caught up in the bullshit.
I think that it is. Like there was it's been kind of a joke in my friendship group that people call me Mr. Hollywood because I've just been making like sketch comedy, like just like making anything in the film adjacent worlds for like 17 years. And then after we made our big Sundance deal, I was flying home and I was like, I am Mr. Hollywood. Holy shit! But yeah, so it's unbelievable.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Well, the movie is it's just so fully realized, and you have such a unique kind of unsettling perspective on the body horror genre. So I was just curious, like, what the fuck is wrong with your brain, and are you okay?
I've never been okay in my life.
Yes.
I just love I love body horror, obviously, but I was excited with this movie to make something that was like emotionally grounded and kind of very much like my own life and my own relationship in a way. But sorry about that, my partner Louis. But also was something that would be like technically really challenging and had like a bunch of set pieces because there's a real technical side to me that like just fantasizes about that side of filmmaking as much as any other.
It's interesting you brought up sketch comedy because the movie is so fucking funny, which I didn't really expect the first time I saw it. When you were writing and developing it, was that always your vision for it to be almost equally as funny as it is scary? Or like, you know, you casted two of the funniest people I know, did the script and the movie get funnier by putting them in it?
Oh, it definitely got funnier by their performances in it, but it was in the script. Like the first time I sat down to write the script, I was planning on writing a very serious horror movie. But I just kind of couldn't get my own instincts out of the way, and I was like, well, this is silly, this is crazy. Like the more the premise reveals itself, it would have, I think, felt disingenuous to kind of lean away from the craziness. Like for example, hopefully it all kind of comes from a real place. Like if me and my partner cut our arms like off like that, I would want to smack. Like very sincerely, like that was just like, oh, that's more truthful for me to do that than just to go straight into more horror. Yeah.
I do feel like that we've talked a lot about the fact that like the comedy in this movie comes from those like really real couple moments. It's the bickering in the driveway. It's like, oh, I left my keys at Jamie's. Why? I mean, I didn't do it on purpose. Like, you know.
We fall into this weird cave with church pews in the walls, and she's like, why do you have a lighter? It's like, it doesn't fucking matter.
Can't turn it off. It is very relatable when you've been together that long.
Yeah, the scene where you're sleeping and you get slammed into the glass door, one of the scariest moments in the movie, and it ends with you bitch slapping her to wake her up. I genuinely laughed my ass off, and that's that kind of shit that makes the movie great. Is there a moment in the edit where you were like, oh, this isn't funny, and then you see it on the big screen and you're like, whoa, this is actually like getting a big laugh and I wasn't expecting it to?
The trickiest scene was the opening party scene. that was just something that I was so worried about. Like, you know, we kind of had that cold open with the kind of dogs, and then we had this party scene, and there wasn't certainly, there were a couple of test screenings over here that you guys attended that I never saw, so I was always kind of just really anxious about wanting to make sure that, you know, maybe it's like a kind of like old YouTuber in me, but like that you get the audience's attention kind of like straight away, so they know you're in good hands. And you know what, we got a good note from one of our producers that was actually kind of a second-hand note from something Seth Rogen once said at a test screening, where he said, like, you need to give audience permission to laugh.
Yeah.
Like early on, it's like if they know something's like an intentional joke, they kind of go, oh, okay, I'm allowed to laugh. That was the thought process.
Yeah.
And the party sequence, I just don't know that it was getting like that kind of intentional laugh. And it's not like the biggest laugh in the world, but the actress who plays Alison's friend, kind of after all the awkwardness of this proposal that got so wrong, she just improvised like a little slow kind of golf clap. And as soon as we kind of cut the scene, like just the exact frame, like after 3 claps, like we knew it was funny.
Yeah.
It just worked enough.
The humor was important there because what my character is doing in that scene is, it's hard to overcome, and we just didn't want my guy to be such a fucking asshole, and so to add humor into that, it really does soften it a bit.
Yeah, I do feel like that's the delicate balance of the comedy in this movie that we would discuss a little bit on set, which was just being like, we always want the audience to be laughing with us, not at us.
Yeah.
Like, you guys, like we're all in on the joke together. And certainly the cringe comedy of the proposal scene.
A clam, opening a clam with no ring inside is the
That was
craziest
a big
proposal.
discussion.
Yeah.
There was a big discussion about having a ring box with no ring. There was never going to be a ring.
Okay.
The discussion was, is it clam hands or
Who created clam hands? Who was the person who thought of clam hands?
me?
Came out with
And the guy just was like, where do you get a ring box with no ring? Like, they come with the ring when you buy them. She's seeking out an empty ring box. That's way weirder. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
I don't know that was way weirder now that I've seen it, though.
I do want to say something else that we learned from Seth Rogen that you're actually involved in too.
Oh shit.
So in Neighbors, Chris's character, if you remember, Scooney, iconic character, he had a very big penis.
Yeah.
And in the initial cut, that penis was everywhere.
Yeah.
And the takeaway from that was too much dick.
Too much
And
dick.
so what they
It's too threatening of a dick to have on the screen for that much time.
what they learned from it, and it's always stuck with me, and I've applied it to 2 other projects, including this one. The perfect amount of dick, 14 frames. That's all you need. That's all you need. So when you see the dick,
Yeah.
14 frames.
How is that prosthetic dick?
It
You
was
know?
actually Dave's real dick.
No. Yeah, super glue vagina.
not my dick,
Pull it
but
really hard.
yeah. Do I
Hey,
wish
do
it was
you wish it was bigger?
a little thicker?
A little more
Yeah.
yeah. Length was fine, a little bit more.
I didn't have a say in that prosthetic, but when I saw it on the big screen, I was like, even on the big screen, it looks a little thin.
No, but all the men are going to be represented by that. So like, a lot of people are here are like,
It's relatable. It's relatable.
It's relatable.
Stretch, you
It's a
know what I mean?
relatable thing.
Full girth.
The thing about prosthetic penis was kind of a later addition because we'd run out of like a prosthetics budget, and I was really making the case like we have to do the dick shot. Like trust me, it's gonna work.
Biggest jump scare of the movie.
It's like I'm so proud of the edit because it comes like later in the scene than you're expecting, so it just kind of like I think everybody's already like tuned into like they're not going to show that dick, and then you show the dick later, it's kind of like kind of wakes you up. But my partner at the time was working for a sex toy company, and we had run out of our prosthetics budget, like completely amped out. But we just, because of what her job was, we had access to this like free dildo essentially. And I gave that to the prosthetics guy. He like added some fake pubes, stuck it on a pair of bicycle shorts, and Bob's your uncle.
Wait, am I incorrect in thinking that day when he came to set with that prosthetic, that he also brought a prosthetic vulva?
Yeah, he brought a prosthetic
So we had a
vulva.
little bit of budget.
That was also Louis' company.
Oh,
That was
what?
also Louis' company, yeah.
By the way, that was horrifying.
That was
Talk about a little box open. What's in that box? And we just, that was the biggest jump scare.
The literal shoebox.
Just a flaccid vulva.
This is great. I love the dick, and now we're just fucking talking about that.
Keep talking about
Keep
this.
talking about
It
it.
went blue.
My job is here.
Shanks, he has a VFX background, and he did 150 VFX shots himself
Wow.
while editing the movie. And one of them
What's the dick shot?
You were going in and you
Rotoscoping
were.
individual pubic hairs.
Well, yeah, because it was the penis and the pubic hairs. I'm so happy we're still talking about
I
it.
know.
It was
This is what they want to hear about.
It was stuck to these bike shorts. So from above, like the penis looks good, but then you can see this isn't skin. So I had to basically make the bike shorts look like human skin. And to do that, I had to rotoscope frame by frame around Dave's, penis and pubic hair. And I remember doing that, feeling like, see, Mom, I made it. I'm a big Hollywood guy now.
Mr. Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, shit, talking about the special effects, you guys, I know that you're a first-time director, and working with a first-time director can be a little bit nerve-wracking for certain actors. Was there something about him when you met with him, or you saw his shorts that really grabbed your attention? You're like, oh, we can make this work for sure.
Yeah.
Both, yeah. I mean, first off, when you just have a general meeting with someone, you can kind of just get a vibe of like, do they know what they're doing? Do they have a strong vision of how they're gonna achieve everything?
It was a general first before reading it.
Kind
You
of.
had read another script of Shanks.
Because it would be the first ever general meeting where something good came out.
I said that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I read some of the script that Shanks wrote, and I actually knew I wasn't right for the part, but I really liked the quality of the writing, and I was like, I would love to meet this guy. And we bonded over horror movies, and he
Because
said,
Shanks loves the rental.
Yeah, I love the rental, and I was like, hey, you like horror?
Yeah.
I like horror. I got the script in one drawer.
so he said he had this script that's been sitting around a while, and he think I might like it, so he sent me this script, and we were blown away initially just by these inventive set pieces, and it's like nothing we had ever read before, but it was also very ambitious, and we were like, how the fuck is he gonna pull this off? But he then sent us this short film that he made called Rebooted that you guys should check out, and it's like,
Can we find it somewhere to watch?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
yeah.
All right.
And it's like the most beautifully
Good luck.
crafted short film you'll ever see, and it really showed off his kind of VFX prowess, and that gave us a lot of confidence going in.
Tonally very different, but still just like a great example of his skills. And also, I feel like that was another thing. That was part of what was great about Dave and I doing this together, is us taking the leap of faith together and going like, we do trust Shanks, the short is great, and also we have each other on set to override anything, but
Sure.
we never
Well,
have
I
to.
think-
Yeah, we wanted to override the first-time director.
We
Yeah.
never had to do it. We never had to do it.
No, I mean, my experience with you guys coming on board as producers was very much like having a shield around like my vision and
Yeah.
the script, because when you're making an indie film, this is a really independent film. It's like really low budget for what it is. There's so many things trying to kind of get in the way of just trying to, I guess, cut corners and that sort of a thing. And as I said, like doing all the visual effects in the film for free was not something I would have wanted to do. I mean, the bulk of the effects, not all of them, of course. But that was just like, I didn't want to cut shots, I didn't want to cut sequences, even though there was pressure from on high, but like, cut that, you're not going to be able to do that. It's like, no, we got to do it. And you guys just fought every battle for me. It was amazing. So, again, thank you.
Also,
What a delightful clap.
Shanks was like the most prepared first-time director ever, and he had storyboarded the whole film. Like that always is a sigh of relief where we would walk into his office and every wall was covered with the hallway scene and the driveway scene and like all this stuff. So that was a great vote of confidence. And then on set, he was extremely nimble. Like it was very amazing to see, which I don't always think is indicative of a first-time director who wants to be precious about all their shots, but we would get to set and be like, obviously, we don't have time to do all of this. We got to take the 20 shots you planned on doing and cut it down to 8 shots. And Shanks was just ready to go. You really had prioritized everything in your head.
Thank you.
We never saw him stressed once on set, which is an insane thing to have that during your first experience doing this. And
When your leader is not stressed, it's going to be a great, great
True,
set.
and on the flip side, like he came in like with this just childlike enthusiasm every day, and we just all fell in love with him, and we were like, okay, I'm gonna fucking do everything for this guy. I'm gonna throw my lit body into these porcelain walls while I'm fully nude.
You would send me probably a photo every other day of a new injury, I recall, on set.
Allison, at the end of every day, I would get out of the shower and she'd be like, oh, you got a big bruise on your ass today.
Take all the photos of all of them, got them all documented.
And Chris has all of them
I
too.
sure do. It's my backdrop. It's my phone backdrop.
But do you have the picture of me on the toilet? Tell me we didn't send that to him.
No, he would never send that shit.
You would be the one person I would say.
Okay, all right.
Oh, we were attached
I
because we
did
were
not take that
attached
photo.
for 10 hours shooting the
Yeah.
reciprocal.
You're in luck. We got the photo.
It's very polite. It was like made for friends. friends, but then I think we decided maybe that is too far, but it's just like me, like, pants down, like, and our arms attached.
I feel like we should get context for how we ended up in this position. Attached to the prosthetic for 10 hours, couldn't leave each other's side, going to the bathroom together.
Scene in the kitchen, yes, we had a prosthetic and we were attached.
Did you enjoy putting them through this shit secretly?
Honestly, yeah.
Like outside of it, just outright.
No, because like I was like giddy on set. Like this was such a low budget film, but to me this was the most amount of resources I've ever had for a project. So even though it was stressful, every day I was just like, oh my god. When I was making like YouTube stuff, if there was a prop, like I had to buy the fucking prop. I had to bring it set, I had to make the costumes, and now it's like somebody will do that. Oh my god. And then with these guys on set, like working with like a prosthetics designer, working with like a proper visual effects supervisor, like all this stuff, these amazing actors and stunt people, and just like what you were putting yourselves through. I remember like the giddiest day I was on set was the day we shot the hair down Dave's throat scene, and there was just like a shot early on where we were doing the kind of like jump scare reveal, and we like really tight on Dave's face. And we turn on the light, it's just like, bah! And the little hair coming out. And I just like couldn't stop like cackling.
That was his real face, right? That was, you were really shoving your real hair down his throat.
We had other hair that we were shoving down his throat.
Yes, into your hair and then
And then
on a
flipped
wing and
to mine.
Okay.
But that was 95% practical, that scene. And so
Tell me about having all that hair shoved down your throat.
It sucked. So Shanks came up to me after a few takes and he's like, hey, I'm actually trying to do the dry heaving. And I was like, I'm not trying to, dude, I'm joking.
Well, I was going to say that the fun thing about working with practical effects and getting to see these things in the moment on set was it's sort of what Shanks was saying, I guess, that just like finishing, like in the moment shooting the scenes, it was so fun, and you could have a sense of what the final version of the scene was going to look like.
Right.
And I felt like every single day, not that we were shooting in order, but I do feel like in terms of the big sequences, they ramped up. So it was like the hair sequences was one of the first ones we shot, and we were like, well, this is the best scene in the movie. And then we shot the hallway sequence, and we were like, well, this is the best scene in the movie. Then we shot that, like, it was just like so
And
fun.
then the prosthetic dick came out, and we're like, oh,
I was like, well.
On the Scoonies cock, you know what I mean? Use that next time. I guess I'm curious, as an actor, that's the grossest thing I've ever said. As an actor.
It didn't go over great.
Oh, God.
It didn't go over great.
Brutal. But you guys are in essentially every scene of this movie together, and you shot this movie in 20 days, 21 days. You're working together, you're going home together. Are you going home and like cooking dinner and running the next day's scenes together? Or like what is the process with each other?
It's interesting that you asked about cooking.
I find that interesting.
Well, one of us was cooking and afterward.
No, we realized pretty quickly that we were so tired that we needed catering to give us food.
Oh,
I cooked us
great.
dinner every night for most of the shoot until the final week. But
No, this is great.
So much.
I'm happy to do it.
I'm so happy to see you bicker because your press tour is like, oh my god, they're in love with each other. Every video is the funniest, they have the greatest chemistry. So happy to see
To
that.
your point,
Continue.
yes. While I was making us dinner, we would talk. It was like a two-part process of debriefing the day in a way that did feel more like being a couple, even though it was about the job. And then I guess it was a three-parter. Then after Dave's shower, assessing the injuries and photographing them. And then the third part was like being in bed, being like, okay, what are we shooting tomorrow? We're shooting this scene. Let's talk through any beats. Are there any sticky beats? No pun intended. So like that performance-wise, that we want to kind of troubleshoot now between the two of us, because on set we knew that we would only have 1 to 2 takes for performance.
Was it hard to sleep? Because it sounds like you were just living and breathing this fucking movie every minute. Like, going to bed, okay, we're in bed now. What are we doing tomorrow? Okay, then let's run the scene. Like, you know, like for me, I'd be like, I couldn't go to sleep. I would be thinking about it
It was
nonstop.
kind of the opposite, and it just because this
So
was
exhausted.
such a sprint, we were so tired. And so yeah, once we got through rehearsal at the end of the night, once our head hit the pillow, we were out. But what I was gonna say is like, you know, because we know each other so well, obviously, we just feel so comfortable with each other, and because of that, it's just so easy to just do these scenes together. And I just want to bring it back to you real quick again.
Okay.
I was thinking about this, how we made. Do you guys remember funnyordie.com?
Yeah.
It's you wouldn't believe how
The
many
way
people
you
don't.
said .com, it sound way older.
The people who don't know it these days will make me feel
It's on the
ancient.
internet.
So Chris and I, this is like at the very beginning when I was
14
first getting
years
going.
ago, yeah.
We were making these videos for Funny or Die, and you were the first like close friend of mine who I was working with consistently, and it just kind of showed me like, oh, this is the way to do it. If
Yeah.
we can keep doing this forever,
Yeah.
and just working with people who I feel so comfortable with, and I can just be such an ass in front of it, and like you just take these huge risks, knowing that you're not judging me, you're pushing me, you're encouraging me to
Yeah.
go further, and
Yeah.
that's when the best stuff comes.
I'm surprised we didn't do a You're So Hot Together promo, where at the end, the whole game is we tell each other we want to fuck each other, and if we don't laugh, we take a step closer.
You go into
should've
just detail, you're trying to make the other person laugh.
You're trying to make the other person laugh, but if you don't, you take a step forward.
And so
and at
on the end, you're nose to nose saying
nose.
disgusting things.
And we should have just conjoined, and it should have been a Together promo. We fucked up.
Inspiration.
Dave, are you worried that this is the beginning of a slippery slope, that audiences are going to want that gorgeous tushy in every movie you do? And are the rumors true that you catch a full deck of cards in that ass and now you see me through? Alison, has he been practicing this at home?
I'll never tell.
I do, tell me if I'm wrong, I recall after the first time you saw the movie, you wanted more of that ass.
I couldn't believe what you were working with, dude.
I
She was
literally
juicy.
emailed during the edit. I did send an email saying we should see more of Dave's ass in the shower scene. After which Dave was like, "What?" We had this. You were like, "We can see a little more body." I don't know about specifically ass. I was like, "Give the people what they
How
want."
did 70% of this Q&A become about taking
I
ass?
think that's my fault. I think it's the moderator that
Body
runs
horror.
shit, are we doing good? We still going? We keep going? Wrap it up.
Wrap it
Wrap it up. I'll fucking wrap it up. I just want to say I'm so proud of the three of you because I've known you guys for a very long time, and we were walking our favorite place, Universal City Walk, together 1.5 years ago. Not our favorite place. And you were telling me that you were very excited about this body horror movie that you got sent, and you thought it was going to be really a great vehicle for you and your wife. And you were very excited, and to see the finished product and to see people loving it and connecting with it, it feels like a movie people can revisit every Halloween. I'm very happy and proud, and I love you guys. So thanks for having me.